In the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring.
You shall not pass!
An alliance once existed between elves and men. Long ago we fought and died together. What have we done?
Lady Arwyn Avalon, the amazing Starry Eyed Girl, your host, Stone Loki, and hopefully a special appearance from Zaxx. Light the fires, Valhalla, it's time for Mornings of Mischief.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to our Lord of the Rings review here on Mornings of Mischief. I am your host, Stone Loki. Big welcome to Josh from Project Storytime, Dave Bob, the beautiful and elegant Starry Eyed Girl, and the amazing Lady Arwyn Avalon. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing?
Morning, y'all.
Whoa. I am awake now. One hell of an intro.
Nice. Yes.
Oh, thank you guys so very much. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to get going this morning. I don't know why the background didn't pop up, but I put the background back up. God, what a trip. So I've been up since 5:30 this morning. That is wow. I cannot express to you what a giant pile of shit I just watched.
Yeah.
$1 billion doesn't go a long way today. At least it doesn't for talent.
I don't know where it went.
I don't know where all that money went, but it didn't go anywhere for talent.
Talent effects means
Wow.
we'll get into it, but obviously the troll that was featured, it doesn't look a patch on. The troll from 20 years ago, and the worm, the sea monster thing, looked absolutely crap.
At best, this was a really bad fan fiction retelling. At worst, it spits on Tolkien. That's in a nutshell.
Arwyn, I think you were with me live when I said this is Cool Ocean the elf, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Non-threatening black man with the white woman.
Yeah.
Non-threatening black man with the white woman, and that is exactly what they did with him. It is so there is no emotion, there is no anything. He's just, I am here and I am man and I will go into this dark cave, but you don't know what's down there. That's why I must go.
I must go. I'm like, I don't know what's down there, but that's why. And he is like the least problematic part of this entire thing. That's what's hysterical about it. He was, even though I'm like, oh my God, I'm cringing with every freaking word out of their mouths. I was like, all right, I'll give you a tiny little bit of a pass because you annoy me the least. Cool Ocean annoyed me the least.
No, the elves come off the word. I think in terms of everything, the dwarves are okay. The half-orcs are okay, I suppose.
Annoying.
They're trying to be funny, and it's not really working. But the elves are just a mess. Nobody looks like an elf. Nobody acts like an elf.
No. The fairest of all. The fairest descendants of the Valar. What the hell? Really? That's the best y'all could do? That's what you came up with? What's with those haircuts, y'all? What do they all go into the Middle Earth barber to get these side shaves and these
where did the elf put to get his hair? Because nobody liked him.
That elf had a fade.
Yeah. The hair's short. It's like buzz cut short. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah, you got Cool Ocean's like GQ smooth with every little line and I'm like, y'all, where's the hair? Where the hell's the hair? That's what I want to know. Where is the hair?
And then the other elves have got too much hair. It's just like it's a quiff. It's like, have you heard of?
Did the wig department quit?
Yes, Andy's hair, and it just appears with this poof on. It looks like Gilderoy Lockhart, but an elf.
I'm dead. And I tried, I have to say, okay, I watched this with two lenses. One through the lens of Tolkien.
Why?
Two, I tried to watch it as a standalone fantasy, a unique original fantasy.
Yeah, it fails on both accounts.
Oh my God.
The dialogue. Me and Josh were sitting there the dialogue is eye-rollingly bad. This is not Tolkien. If you expect to hear any Tolkien coming out of this, anything Tolkien wrote, you will be sadly mistaken. This is wrote by fucking hacks.
And not just that, it's written almost like a middle schooler trying to sound epic. That's how bad the dialogue is.
It's like the word.
I'm sounding right.
Yeah, the stuff's like needlessly complicated, but it doesn't. None of it makes sense. It says, even from the beginning, I was laughing from the beginning when a brother goes, well, a stone sinks because all it sees is the darkness below. Like, what? It's a stone.
God.
I'm telling you, it's a 12-year-old fan fiction. And Shellback, I have no problem with bald people at all. I love bald heads just as much
we
as
love
hairy
it.
heads. But these elves, pick a lane, dudes. Come on now. I was just like, what? No.
And who knew Gil Galad was such a fucking prick? And they don't even name him. They call him the king, but Gil Galad is your guy in the golden with the golden wreath on his fucking head. Looks like he's about to try out for the Olympics. And he's got the long black hair and everybody's bowing in front of him. And he's like, if we didn't get rid of Gladriel, we had to get rid of Gladriel. We had to get her out. We have to get her off of Middle Earth because if she stays, it's going to be worse than if she leaves. We know.
He's right. He did have a
no having whammon around. We got to get rid of the whammon. She's going to end up ruling everything if we don't get rid of her. And I'm like, oh my gentle Jesus, Gilgal. None of the elves were like this.
And Elrond's such a pussy. I hate to say it, but I love Elrond. I love Hugo Weaving as Elrond. This is not Elrond. And he's, oh, my dear friend is here. And she just comes and talks to him like crap.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like,
and he smiles, and he smiles.
And he just takes it, and there's like, oh, and then I'm going to go and see my other dear friend, Durin Moria, and he hates him as well. Like Elrond, I don't think you've actually got friends.
It's like Doogie Howser. Doogie, you don't have any friends.
You don't have any friends.
You don't have any friends.
I love
the joke?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, Loki, what was the joke we had during their scene about how, like, you're asking me to leave, but what about the darkness I still feel inside? And I just made the joke, like, it sounds like a you problem.
That sounds like a personal problem to me.
Galadriel is the most self-righteous, sanctimonious bitch.
Oh, she's
and it's her eyes. It's her eyes. Oh my God. It's like someone was standing there, the acting coach they hired for her. And she did have an acting coach, ladies and gentlemen. She had an acting coach and a therapist on set. So she had an acting coach and a therapist on set while she was filming this because she flinched. Oh my God, I flinch. Every time someone walks near me, I flinch. So I had to have a therapist. I had to have a therapist there.
Whoever was instructing her, because she like, every time you want to look intense, just open your eyes a bit wider. Like, no.
Yes. Someone showed her a picture of Gladriel in Fellowship when she's talking to Frodo and she goes, the one who has seen the eye, and her eyes open real big, and they said, look like this all the time. You want to look like this all the time. Your eyes need to be fucking out of your head like, I'm coming for you. Right off the very bat, they completely fuck up the history. Guys, they are not following the history. All they have is an appendices to work with. So they've had this thing where Sauron is the lieutenant of Morgoth. That Sauron and Morgoth actually fucking met. This is a lie. This never happened. Sauron was not the lieutenant of Morgoth. He was not his underling while he was alive. These are two completely separate stories.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and on top of that, we mentioned it during our viewing, Loki. Like when they're in that cavern and they see like the orc that's like fused to the wall. The one elf says, "What devilry is this?" Like that's not an expression they would use since they didn't have something they would call the devil.
No, the closest thing would be Morgoth.
Yes. There were several little nuggets like that, throwbacks to the Jackson movies.
Yes.
Because when Elrond and I can't even speak, Celebrimbrim, when they walk up to, I'm just like,
I like that. Yeah. Yes, I know exactly what you mean, Arwyn, when they're talking about the hammer.
Beer and the roaring fires. I was like, fuck
salted
all the way off.
pork. Because that's all dwarves eat.
And they just stroll up there. Okay, they show you how freaking far they have to go. And it's just like they just stroll around the corner. And then you've got, Elrond goes in and he just, he's going to hang around the cave, the front of the cave.
I'll see you in a couple of days.
Oh, thanks. I'll enjoy my walk all the way back to Linden. Thanks, you fuck. Thanks, Elrond.
Or Galadriel or Galadriel on the boat about to enter the heaven and just dives off the boat and like you're in the middle of the ocean. You're just gonna swim back to Middle Earth.
Yes, and that's exactly what we said, guys. They sailed from Middle Earth all the way back to fucking Valinor. And then Galadriel, and I told Josh, I said, if she fucking jumps off that boat and fucking decides to swim back to Middle Earth, I'm done. Because she's got to swim. It's like swimming from New York to London.
Yeah.
In the middle of the freaking ocean. I wanted a shark to eat her so damn bad. I'm like, please eat her. Please, something, eat this woman. Because oh my God. And when they're sailing up and they all started, singing. They're all in but her, I'm like, what?
Yeah, and they just stood there for the entire journey. Like that's not what you're doing this shit.
Well, those were her men. So at the beginning of this episode, guys, she is hunting for Sauron. Sauron's not supposed to exist yet, but she's hunting for Sauron. She's on
a revenge quest.
Yes, she's on a revenge quest.
Yes.
And all her men are like, you know what? Fuck you. We're done. We're not following you anymore. They all put down their swords. They're like, no, we're going back. We're done. And she's like, how dare you? How dare you put down your weaponry and not follow me to the end of the earth and all die in this quest to find Sauron. And they're the ones on the boat with her.
Yeah.
Don't forget, she also took down a troll single-handedly.
Yes. Yeah,
they all just stood and watched her.
Army for? What good is her army for? All you need is one Galadriel to take down a troll.
Yeah.
What? They just stood there whimpering.
You remember in Fellowship when everybody joined together because they're a fellowship?
Yes.
And they all worked together to take down that cave troll. And everybody did something. Yep. No.
You didn't see Legolas out there single-handedly like, I got him, bitches. No, you're right, Starry. They all worked together and they all got their asses kicked. But put Galadriel against a snow troll and call it a day.
Here's something that they do not take into account at all. Her men get their asses whooped by this troll, right? Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So First Age elves fought Balrogs.
Yeah.
Yes.
First Age elves fought Balrogs and they won. Yeah. Okay, that is why when Legolas in Fellowship sees and Gandalf's like a Balrog, a Mordor, and Legolas's eyes are like, oh shit!
You see it in his face.
We're in trouble
because he never imagined he would see one. Mm-hmm. Legolas never imagined he'd actually see one in real life. These elves that got their asses kicked by a troll fought Balrogs. Morgoth used Balrogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sprung them out of the ground like they were freaking orcs.
Mm-hmm.
The elves would band together and take these things down.
Well, the writers don't know this, though, because they never read the work.
Yeah.
But they're going to get their asses handed to them by a troll.
Not even that.
And for anybody out there that's like, oh my God, they had to go through all that cold weather. Do you remember Legolas in like fucking Peter Pan tights walking on top of snow?
On top of snow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The weather didn't bother them like that. They didn't shiver. And that line, when they get in that fucking line, when they get in that fortress where he's like, my hand, I can't feel it. And she's like, the darkness here is so strong. It prevents you feeling heat from bullshit.
I know. And when she says, when they're looking around, because it's like the snowstorm, and she says, oh, we are here. Like, yes, you are, because you've got better eyesight than everybody else, so you would have been able to see.
Yeah.
The snowstorm wouldn't have stopped you from seeing. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Not to mention the many lightning crashes that were happening behind the keep.
Accidentally stumbled into a massive dark book.
And she's
How do you
so
not see this
unlikable.
thing?
Oh, God, she's so unlikable. And you
The
don't
snow
want your
didn't bother
main
him.
character to be unlikable. Not like this.
Because that's how it has to be. She has to be a complete and total bitch. And on top of that, they make her look like a dude with long hair.
Yeah.
She is not elegant.
No.
She's not elegant. She is not beautiful. This is crap. This is absolute and total crap.
They did no research on her character and what makes Galadriel Galadriel.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning scene where she's getting bullied and then she tackles the kid because he sinks her damn ship. I'm like, even at a young age, it said that she was fair within, that she had reason. Yes, that she could get, in place of a Dark Lord, you shall have a queen. She could get spicy and fiery. But the one thing that stood her apart,
she could be prideful, yeah.
she could. But the one thing that stood her apart was she was always fair and she had wisdom and reason, even as a young child.
Yes.
I didn't see no wisdom and reason in that. I saw, I'm going to kick your ass because you suck my shit, bitch. No. And then she's got one brother. No, she had more brothers, but she has this one brother who, what does he tell her? Something about you find the truth by knowing your darkness within, or some shit like that. I don't even remember what the hell he said to her. And
I was surprised they kept that in because, he's actually giving her advice. But he's a white man.
Giving her advice. I know. A man was giving her advice. Oh, y'all. I don't know. There were so many moments where I was just like, and when they tell Elrond, elf lords only. I'm like, bitch, that is Elrond.
I know.
That is Elrond. He's an elf lord.
The second only to Gil-galad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
His brother goes off and becomes the first king of Numenor. What the hell, y'all? It's Elrond. And you can't go in because elf lords only. Oh, fuck all the way off with this. I was so irritated by that point.
Yeah.
And I think that was 15, 20 minutes into the first episode.
Yeah,
Chris Persia said you will know which way to go when you choose to the dark, when you get close to the darkness first.
That's it.
That
makes no sense.
Doesn't even mean. Doesn't mean anything.
No, and we got Gil-galad wanting to ship her off to the Valinor because, oh my God, if this crazy bitch doesn't go looking for Sauron, maybe we'll never have Sauron. He'll never appear.
And every single scene with the Elf King, it looked like a Maybelline ad.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
And he always looked like he smelled something bad, like, cabbage cooking or something. I don't know. He always had the sneer on his face.
Skipping to the other two elves. The attempt at humor. Like, well, you smell of rotting leaves. Like, what the hell is this?
Those aren't elves. They aren't cool. Okay, so right off the bat, Cool Ocean is not an elf. He might have elf ears. He might be the deadbeat daddy that is the father of this kid.
Yes, the black guy, the deadbeat dad. Good. Nice.
Oh my god, y'all! We're gonna be clever and we're gonna give the kid long black hair so it covers his ears, and you won't know. They won't know until we decide to spring the trap. They won't know. Oops.
Excuse me, ma'am. Yes, some YouTuber named Stone Loki just called out all your ideas on YouTube before we ever even got to
ban them, close them down, shut down his channel. It's industrial espionage. No, you fucking hacks. You think you're clever when you were the dumbest group of sons of scissoring bitches I've ever met in my life. Your writing is so idiotic that anybody with 2 fucking brain cells could go, this is what they're gonna do.
Oh, the dialogue is atrocious.
It's cringeworthy.
It's terrible.
And what's his face's mom? Bronwyn, I think her name.
Yeah.
Shit, I can't keep up with it all. She's like, somewhat the clean, and it looks like she bathes regularly, and she's surrounded by all of
Yes,
these
I noticed that. No, but
grubby.
only the main characters are clean. It reminded me of a Disney animated movie, where the main characters are all well defined and the supporting ones are fat and short and they just don't
gross. And they're all mean except her. She's the kind one because she's getting pooched over here by Ocean Boy. Yeah, and it's just like, y'all, what?
And I knew as soon as I saw him, as soon as I saw a picture of him, I said, here's your cool ocean character. Here's the calm, never upset, never overly emotional black man that has to be that way because he's with a white woman. So there can be no overly emotion. He can't in any way be angry or toxic. He has to be the perfect, calm male that shows no emotion, no anything, because he's with her. So we've got to make him crystal fucking clean, and he can't have any kind of toxic male tendencies at all. Nothing can be shown like that, because my God, he's gonna be this character. So that's how you get Cool Ocean. That's why we've been calling him Cool Ocean for months now, is because I knew that's where they were going to go with this.
He's not going to be interesting. He's going to be dull. That he's not going to have an arc. That's what he's going to be like for the entire series.
Probably. Even though I think he's the one trying to be the most elf-like, traditionally elf-like. Yeah. It's failing, but it's better than the interaction of the other elves. Shit, why would we look to them? They're worse than the humans in the way they talk and interact with each other. Except maybe Elrond, but that's not Elrond, y'all. That was I don't know who the hell that was.
Because Liberace.
Yeah, that was exactly. And he was writing with the scroll, writing the speeches, and I'm like, there's a scroll.
And as soon as Gil-galad introduced Celebrimbor to Elrond, I said, "Does Mother know you wear her drapes?"
Oh my God, when he came up and he's smiling and he's wearing that powder blue robe. I just died. I startled my cat. I started laughing so hard.
I think we are a different show.
we are here to view the tapestries. Oh, I'm sorry, but Celebrimbor took them all, and he's been wearing them as his moo-moos for the past decade.
His moo-moos, I'm dead. And again, you've got that short.
That also reminds me real quick.
Cut.
Yeah, that also reminds me. We're talking about his robes were like powder blue. How did the peasant girl have like this deeply dyed blue dress? She's supposed to be
she's an herbalist.
Peasant.
She's an herbalist. She's a medicine woman.
She's the main character.
Damn stingy. You'd think she would crush that shit and sell it, die for the rest of those skanky looking villagers because they were all sad and drab and she kept that beautiful stuff.
Yeah, and she's supposed to be curing them. She's killing them off.
She's killing them off. They need vitamins or something. They were bad.
So I can't make this life-saving medicine. I need to dye my dress.
I mean, the hobbits looked healthier than they did, and they live out literally in the bush.
And the hobbits are supposed to be clean, and yet they were all grungy looking.
But these are the primitive hobbits. This is like caveman versus humans now. So yeah, you can't compare the two, even though they like have contraptions where they like lift up the root of a tree and there's their shop. Yeah. Oh, look, I'm just gonna lift this tree stump up and there's my house. There's my shop.
They have stone forges.
Yeah. And then, like the first time they appear, it reminded me, you remember in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, when all the merry men were hiding
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had all them traps that they hid in.
Yes.
It was just that, and I just couldn't stop laughing.
And that reminds me, Starry, you know the scene where we see the orc come out and he's coming up, through the floor, and they're showing the claws, and then they're showing the gurgling tongue with the mouth. They did that better in freaking Legend with Blix.
Yes, they did.
I saw that and I was like, that's
Yes.
Blix, but y'all suck at it. We've already seen that. How old is that movie?
Oh, gosh,
20 something, if not longer.
Yeah.
40, almost 40 years now.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, that they were channeling Blix, and they didn't even do it as well.
The foreshadowing that they tried to do, they're like, "Oh, I couldn't sleep because of them mice again." What kind of mice are like that?
Undead ramen. Herbist healer, you must be sickly another day. I must dye my bush. If I don't look good, you don't look good. Oh my God.
I was just dead.
Just yeah.
Oh.
Anything it did had been done better. There was nothing. Well, it wasn't Tolkien anyway, but as its own show, there was nothing in this.
Yeah.
That was new. That broke no ground.
No, it's shocking how boring this thing was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not a single character like grabbing me. Like, completely divorced from Lord of the Rings. Boring show.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like I said, when I was sitting there, I was like, okay, this is going to kill me trying to be Tolkien, but I will try and watch it as its own entity, its own creation, its own unique thing, which is hard to do when you got, Galadriel and Elrond. You have all, and you got the map of Middle Earth, but whatever. Okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Even as a standalone, it annoyed the hell out of me because, one, they're info dumping.
Yeah.
They are info dumping like crazy. Instead of taking a small group of characters and branching out, establishing them, and then having them go on their journey, and you're meeting more and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, you've got all these characters. I can't keep up with who the hell half of them are. I don't care because the dialogue was so cringeworthy.
It's like, it's no secret that they want Game of Thrones, but it's like, we just want to get to the good bits. So that there's no world building.
No.
Like you said, there's can you remember series 1 of Game of Thrones when it was basically just the Stark family and then the Lannisters, and then it slowly. And again, I didn't care. I didn't care about that kid. I don't care about Galadriel going in that. I don't care about these characters because I don't know them.
Right. Exactly. And if they make a Game of Thrones, I swear to God, the first time Gandalf throws down with a Harfoot, I'm going to lose my damn mind. I will be like, I'm out. I've had enough. I've seen enough. I am out. Nope.
Well, the way they did the way they would do the transitions, where they would show the Middle Earth map and it would swing over. It was like almost exactly like the Game of Thrones intro on the map. It's like they're clearly taking elements from Game of Thrones and trying to make it work in Tolkien, and it doesn't work that way.
And Lord Thoth asked, are there any good bits though? Some of the shots where you see like cityscapes, those are kind of good, but there's even shots where where Elrond is walking through like this elven area, it looks fake as shit. You can tell. It is, you can tell it's been done on one of those 360 stages. Oh, we'll throw a bush in here and there, and then you just walk through
It's very, very, patchworky. Again, there's bits that look really good. I thought Khazad-dûm looked, when you first see it, and you see what it's like in its heyday, and it's got the plants and it's got the waterfalls, and you get a bit more of. And then the dwarves started talking, and it ruined it for me.
And I didn't mind some of the costuming. I thought, okay, that's where their money went.
Yeah, I didn't mind the. I thought they looked pretty decent for the most part.
Elven armor sucked. The robes they had, the drapes that they dressed the elves in sucked. And they did. They dressed them in drapes.
They really did.
The music was so generic.
Why? And let me ask you,
music that grabs me.
why would two human? These are humans. Why would two human hunters be walking around with fucking giant antlers on their back?
Do you know what I
couldn't
thought they
figure
were
that
at
out.
first? I thought they were giant crabs with pincers. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Those aren't Harpoots wearing giant antlers.
I literally, I only just woke up, and all you see is like these two figures on the horizon and these giant antlers, and I thought they were pincers. Or, like,
Hey, Fred. What's up,
like,
Bob?
am I
I think we need to wear giant antlers. Bob, that's the most horrible fucking idea. No. Listen. If we wear giant antlers, none of the animals are gonna notice us. How the hell do you figure,
brilliant.
Bob, that if we wear giant antlers, none of the other animals? I'm telling you, man, they won't notice us. They'll think we're like elk or something. They won't think we're there hunting them. That's got to be the dumbest epping idea I have ever heard of in my life. And we're going to take care of a couple of super chats real quick. Gesture of Sin with a 20-pound super chat. I couldn't stay awake through my first viewing and struggled to pay attention my second. This is the most boring trash trying to hide behind a great man. Tolkien, this is not. Rings of Amazon sucks, but looks pretty in parts. 2.5 out of 10. I cannot argue with that assessment at all.
No,
It
Gesture of
does look
Sin.
pretty in parts. It does, but that's not going to hold. That's not going to last very long.
No.
There was a really good bit of dialogue. The only good bit, which is why I remembered it, is near the end of the second episode, when Hallbrand says to Galadriel, "You can kill your orcs and settle your score, but don't try to dress it up as heroism." And I was like, "That's exactly the show. You've just summed up the show.
Yeah,
That's exactly what she's trying to do." And then she just glares at him some more.
she has a lot of glaring, and I guess Celeborn's out the window.
So unlikable.
Yeah, Celeborn's out the window.
Never have Celebrians, so we'll never have Arwen and her brothers. So that lineage is just shot. Who the hell is Halbrand? I was like, okay, for y'all, most of y'all probably knows, but for y'all that don't, Galadriel is the mother of Celebrian, who fucking marries Elrond.
Yes,
but
and they have Arwen.
And they have Arwen and the twins, the twin boys. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but the twin boys, her brothers. But the way that they have Elrond and Galadriel meeting and interacting, I'm like, well, are y'all supposed to be the same age? Are y'all peers? What the hell's going on here? It was very, very, very confusing. And again, if you take Tolkien out of it, it was still confusing because he was acting like they were friends and she was acting like he was, snot on a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was confused all the way around.
June Wong with $2 super chat says, "Light the fire." Snowdub Live, thank you, June. Snowdub Live with the $2 super chat says, "Go and tuck and roll." Thank you so very much, guys. If you haven't checked out Snowdub, head over to Snowdub's channel. Absolutely awesome guy. Absolutely awesome puppet show. MB Geek, let's talk. With $10 super chat says, "I have a great idea for a pilot. Have a disobedient elf who cannot get over her brother's death, defies her king, has her own unit defy her for poor leadership and obsession, but she's the hero."
That's a fair assessment.
Yes, that is a fair assessment. Thank you so very much, MB Geek. Let's talk for that $10 super chat. And we have another from Zaxx. Let me get down to it. Holy shit. There we go. Okay. This is interesting. $5 Canadian super chat from Zaxx says, "Wish I could be on this killer panel. We wish you could too, brother, but my morning won't let me. For anyone who doesn't know, Morphid, that is the woman that plays Galadriel, declined meeting Kate, as in the woman who originally played Galadriel, to prepare for this role. I don't need to meet that bitch."
Oh my God, this is just Jodie Whittaker all over again. She didn't watch Doctor Who because she found it too overwhelming. She found watching Tom Baker and everybody too overwhelming for her. And I'm just like, this is this all over again.
As an actress, and she's an idiot. She declined it. That means she is not. She is being selfish. and she's not putting her craft, which is her job.
Yeah,
It is her job. She's not putting that above her own. Well, I'm going to do it.
She can't take tips from another actress because she knows everything. She's amazing. She's the lead of $1 billion show.
So let's say, just as a quick argument, let's say that Marvel gets disassociated from Disney. Marvel becomes its own entity, takes over. I go in and I'm applying for a role on something to do with Marvel. And they're like, okay, we want you to be the new Loki. First of all, I shit the bed right then and there. I'm like, oh my God, yes. And then they're like, do you want to have a meeting with Tom Hiddleston to talk about, the role of Loki? And I'm like, no, fuck that guy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. No.
I mean, it's one thing to want to make the role your own and not just do an impression of a character that someone else did, but at the same time, they understand the character, so you can get insight into how to play them. It's different from just doing the impression.
Exactly.
That's because it's not about the story. It's about the message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's about the message.
And it was as subtle as a brick in this.
It really was.
Oh, what was the reparations one we saw, Loki? It was
it was in the tavern. It was in the tavern.
Yep.
It was in the tavern with Cool Ocean and the little white kid that's the friends with Cool Ocean's son.
Oh, the off-the-chain horrible actor one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Reparations, where they talk about reparations. Oh yeah.
God.
Because apparently the people in that village worshipped Morgoth. And I'm guessing so the kid, the Cool Ocean's son, has the tip of Sauron's staff. Apparently Sauron had a staff, just like the wizards will have staffs. He had a staff, and that's the head of his staff.
I thought it was the hilt of his sword.
Maybe it was. Maybe it is. Who knows? Who knows what the hell it is?
But we know it belonged to Sauron.
Yeah, it belonged to Sauron, which apparently is represented by a pitchfork now, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pitchfork.
It's a pitchfork.
I mean, it doesn't get any,
Yeah.
It doesn't get any clearer than that.
And this is the writers modernizing it. So we've got, racism.
Knife ears.
And
which is a Dragon Age insult to elves. So they got a Dragon Age, not Lord of the Rings, but okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm going to touch on something that's a little controversial. Okay, you've got all of these races kind of, they've been keeping kind of to themselves. They've kind of branched off. They have their own territories. They have their own lands. They have their own cultures, blah, 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 blah. Like the hobbits, I didn't so much, it wasn't so obvious. I didn't so much mind it. Even the dwarven princess, okay, whatever, I rolled, that's fine. But it was like every society had nearly every race under the sun integrated in it.
Yes.
And to me, that just did not make sense, because it's not like today where you can get on a plane, get on a train, get on a car, move wherever the hell you want.
They don't understand that.
Blah, blah, blah.
No.
They don't understand that, Arwen. They have no concept of that because it has to be today. Everything has to reflect today. One of the things I've talked about a couple of different times is this future proofing thing that is going through. It's in Disney, it's in Warner Brothers, it's at Amazon, it's everywhere, where you cannot be questioned later. So let's say you make a show and it's got, like, let's say you make a movie, you make the Lord of the Rings trilogy. One of the biggest criticisms against the Lord of the Rings trilogy has been, it's got nothing but white folk in it. It's just full of white folk. There ain't nobody else in it but white folk. They can't do something like that because they can't be perceived as an instant over Yahtzee, and they have to future-proof their projects so that in 10 and 15 years, they don't get a finger pointed at them and they get canceled. So they're literally paying for insurance on a bet they know they're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the most asinine thing. I'm going to put down a bet at a poker table where I know for a fact, 100% know, I'm going to lose. And when the dealer says, "Do you want insurance to cover your bet, sir?" I'm going to put down twice as much money, even though I know I'm going to lose that money. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah.
You're going to put double down on an insurance bet you already know you're going to lose. It is the absolute definition of insanity.
Yeah.
It is. It absolutely is.
And Psychodor of 9 with $5 super chat. That was done months ago when Tom Shippey was fired. He was fired. He was let go.
Mm-hmm.
The Tolkien experts were let go because they told them this is crap. What you are doing is crap. You are going against.
But all we have to go on, sir, is the appendices. So kindly fuck off. We're making up our own story.
Well, it sucks. You guys have completely gone off mission. Why didn't you just get the?
Because we paid $250 million
just for some appendices. Hey, you know what, Amazon? How about I pull up a sign? Get your Tolkien lore here. Only $200,000, and I'll give you a blank fucking manuscript. And go, hey, there's your Tolkien lore, buddy. There you go. I hope you enjoy. Give me the money.
It's just bizarre because there's brilliant stories to be told with the appendices that they just kind of get listed. Yeah. And yes, flesh them out because, it's a history and mythology more than an actual story. Yes, there's pieces you can flesh out and characters you can flesh out, but just keep it, in that remit. That's all they had to do.
No, Larry, no. $1 billion for season 1, my friend. $1 billion for, what is it, 10 episodes, 8 episodes?
Yeah.
It's 8, right? 8 episodes?
Yeah. I thought it was 10.
Maybe it's 10. 10 episodes. We'll say 10, just for the sake of argument. $1 billion for 10 episodes of this. And they're not going to be filming in New Zealand anymore. They're done filming in New Zealand. They're not going to go back to New Zealand and film anything new.
Yeah,
it's all going to be done.
Yay.
Yeah, it's all going to be done on sound stages in Britain.
Yes, and
so
it is
nothing else is going to be filmed in New Zealand.
Well, I'm sorry, but they cannot blame angsty Ray Palpatine, Mary Sue, fucking Galadriel on the appendices. That's their own damn creation.
Yeah.
The way she was written, the way she's acted, the way she's directed, the way she was cast. That is all them.
Teen angst. Remember when I told you that, Arwyn? I was like, no,
yes.
the teenage angst.
Yeah.
This is a different angsty teenage angst Galadriel.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what?
She's so headstrong, like she's a child. And I know she's meant to be younger, but she's still a woman.
She's selfish.
She doesn't look like one.
She doesn't look like one. She doesn't act like. Even when she's in the dress, in the long robe. I think she's only been in once. She doesn't walk. Like Kate Blanchett kind of glided.
Yeah.
In a robe.
Yes.
And none of the elves walk. I mean,
it's like they had her on an escalator. It's like she just floated. Do 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 do. What do you see in the water? And she's just kind of like floating by Frodo. And in this, it's like I am hulking man chick. God,
blonde.
I am no man.
Galadriel part of the Valar.
The Valar, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. They basically the elves or that particular kind of elf, they were the angels of Middle Earth, y'all.
Basically, yeah.
That's the way Tolkien envisioned them, as these angelic beings come down to Middle Earth. Not her.
They needed this. She should have had like a radiant, this radiance coming off her. You can obviously, you can do that in post-production, but there's just nothing. I mean, at one point, she's got rosy cheeks, and I'm just, she's pale for a reason. She's supposed to be fair.
Why are they not shooting in the Bronx? They want diversity. There you go. Go ahead, Josh.
Have we talked about how much of a bitch Durin was?
No.
Oh, he was a pussy.
Okay, so Durin is like the god of the dwarfs. He was a man, but he was such a badass dwarf that it's like they anointed him godhood. So when the dwarves say we are Durin's folk, they are literally like Durin's like the god of the dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
This guy. I gotta check with my wife before I go out drinking with my friends. Hold on, let me get her on the horn before we can go out and do anything. I gotta check with the wife.
Elrond, our romance is over because you didn't come to me wedding. You didn't come to the birth of me kids. I hate you forever, precious.
You haven't texted me lately. We're done now.
Yeah. They're on an elevator in Khazad-dûm, and he's literally bitching Gandalf out for not coming to his wedding and not coming to the birth of his child. 20 years is a long time for a dwarf, Gandalf. Or Elrond. God help me. Oh my God.
What was he
and then
excited? Was he in love? What? Oh.
But yeah, he acts like it was a surprise. It's not like he's never met elves before. They've been together some years.
And I'm sorry. I know there's going to be some people out there that are like, what the fuck, Loki? I find his wife charming. When she came up and she hugged Elrond, she's like, "Ooh, sweetie, you're staying for dinner." I was like, okay, I like her.
I didn't have a problem with her. No.
If she had a beard,
she did.
She had a beard. Yes, she had a beard.
Extremely faint, but she does have a beard.
She's got the black sideburns going down her cheeks.
And it's slightly on her, right on the where your jawline is. Because I'm like, where the hell's her beard? Yep, it was very slight. But
she still sticks out like a sore thumb. Being in Moria, look a bit. She was not. And if she hadn't opened her mouth in all these interviews, would it?
A lot of melanin down.
Quite endearing.
I don't know. And Mark
to be dreadful, but no, she was really nice. It was Durin that was the annoying one.
He was a bitch.
And Mark, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not like I called Elrond a pointy-eared woodland sprite.
Although I still hated her costume. I did. I hated her costume. It was was it Mayan? Was it Egyptian? Was it Grecian? What the hell was it supposed to be?
Yeah,
and her hair did look like under those lights looked like dandruff, y'all. It was
$1 billion, and the wardrobe in this show sucks. The armor the elves wore, not only at the beginning of the show, but when they're on the boat, me and Josh were just cackling watching this backstage. The armor they wear is absolute trash. It looks like rubber. They're unhooking it from the necks of the elves, and it just looks like rubber. It looks like
I'm sure it bends. I'd have to go back, but I'm pretty sure like the wind blows in it and you can see it moving about. It looks so flimsy
and they're so plain looking too. It's like, didn't I comment something like it looks like a video game character's armor?
Yes. Okay, so guys, there are layers. What Josh is talking about is when you're playing a game, there will be layers of detail. So a base layer would just be a gray blotched out armor. Okay. And then you put the shine on it, and then you put the detail effects on it, like lines and carvings and all the cool shit that makes it look weathered, worn, badass, lets the light, shine off of it, whatever you're going to do. This looks like base, no reflection, gray, globby goo on them. It looks fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I liked Cool Oceans, but his didn't look very practical, or it didn't look like it was going to protect him. I liked the Green Man carving in the chest plate, but again, I think that was just for aesthetic. There was nothing practical about that armor at all.
No.
Durin was such a pissoir that the dwarves named 6 letter kings after him and said he had been reincarnated.
Yeah. He was a poussoir, a massive one. Massive one.
There's no one in this cast that stands out. I had read a couple of articles that said, "Oh, Don Lemons is going to lead this cast." He is absolutely emotionless. He just kind of
he's like a robot.
He's like a robot. And anyone that says, but elves, no, bitches, you're thinking of Vulcans.
Yes.
They have pointy ears too. It's like someone forgot to tell him, dude, you're not on Star Trek. You're on Lord of the Rings. Elves have emotions. Elves can have emotions. Elves can have feelings. But I thought, no, you thought wrong, bitch. Stop thinking of Gene Roddenberry and Star Trek and start reading Lord of the Rings. But I don't want to read Lord of the Rings.
And then we've got Discount Aragon / Boromir.
Oh my God, that's what I kept calling him. Yes, I was like, oh, all right, bargain basement Aragorn here, who, I don't know who the hell he is, but he's just replaced Celeborn. So no more Arwen.
I know.
Bye.
Isn't he supposed to be the...
He's going to be a bad guy. He said he's from the Southlands, right? He's going to be a bad guy. He's going to be what Galadriel is tempted by, because that's going to be one of Sauron's boys. That's going to be he's either a Númenorian deserter who joined Sauron, or he is because he said Sauron destroyed, or that my home was destroyed by the orcs.
Yes.
So he is going to be one of Sauron's boys, and she's going to find out because she's going to see the mark on him. She's going to see the pitchfork. So she'll see the pitchfork on him. Or Sauron,
if she's the human form. But again, her magical abilities aren't doing much, are they? Surely she should be already sensing something. Like, why is he so clean on this raft when everybody else looks so haggard and dying?
Larry Rose says that the dwarves, the female dwarves in this, are Woggly-eyed Wendy's forefathers. Yes. Yes, it's the beds.
And I agree with Steven. Sauron's sword was the most interesting character.
Yes, it was.
At least it had some zip and pep.
And shrouded in mystery.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes. God, though. I don't know, y'all.
We still need to talk about not Gandalf.
Let's talk about the music. Because I really want to talk about the music. We've got time. If you guys have got time.
Yeah, I've got time. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right. My biggest problem with this is it seems to be the most entertaining part, and yet it shouldn't even be in the second age. But he's like the best thing in it because he can actually act.
He's got no words. He has none of that crappy, shitty ass dialogue that I can't even wipe my ass with to make sense. He didn't have to say anything. He just had to whisper to some fireflies that we were like, oh, Gandalf, we love you. And he did. He had some expression, and at least he was interesting. He was interesting to watch because you want to figure out who the hell he is and what's going on. But the rest of it, no. Mm-mm.
So Barry McCrary, from the guy who did one of the greatest television scores of all time for Battlestar Galactica.
I love his stuff.
Did a very plain and generic, it doesn't sound like Middle Earth. It doesn't sound like the movies. It doesn't sound like anything close to the movies. They didn't even try to make it sound like the movies. They were probably told, don't even try to make it sound like the movies. So you're not going to get the same kind of music. If you were expecting da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, you're fucking shit out of luck, fuckers. It's not happening.
There's nothing distinctive about when you go to the different areas. There's nothing, which is what Howard Shaw tried to do. The main character, Galadriel, doesn't seem to have got any, like a theme.
No.
Or anything. It's just,
I will say, I did the one piece of music that I felt had some potential was the Khazad-dûm theme that they had. But other than that, it was just all generic, bland fantasy.
Well, Howard Shore's name cropped up there too.
Yeah,
that's for the intro.
He did the main theme, and it was boring.
Yeah, he did the
main theme on the intro. Yeah, the intro, the music for the introduction.
Okay.
Was Howard Shore, and everything else is Bear McCreary. So everything you're going to see in the show, like as it's going on, is Bear McCreary. But the intro, the opening dust, I guess it's dust. I think it's it's just boring. There's nothing. I mean, if you were expecting like da na 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 with castles and all that kind of cool shit, you're shit out of luck. You get dust. Yeah, you get some dust.
You know what I was expecting for the intro? At least fucking let's see some forging of some damn rings. The show is called Rings of Power.
You're not going to see any of that.
That would have been more interesting if they did that, but no.
Because you got to think however they're not going to do a time jump right away. But however much they're going to do, they've got to build that forge before the rings are ever made. So they're going to have to build Celebrimbro's forge before that's ever made.
Okay, I even took issue with that. With him sitting there saying, I want to do something more powerful and more this and more that. I'm like, do all of these characters, are all of them just out for their own desires and wants and needs? What happened to the greater of Middle Earth? What happened to let's do this for the betterment of the people? It's like, no, I felt he was selfish in his desire for this massive ass forge to be built. I didn't even feel like he had a higher purpose except for his own wants. And it just irritated me.
And what's the rush? It's got to be done by spring. That's why we need the Dwarf Alliance. All right.
You need something. And Doran's right when he was like, you're here because you need something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Steven, dun 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 dun. We are now in Harfoot country with what the hell was I saying, Josh? Oh my, what was I? Oh, they're Harfoot's very dangerous. Stay back, everybody. I'm gonna poke him with a stick. Poke him with a stick. Harfoot's very dangerous. God help us.
No, oh my God.
And you've got female Frodo and female Samwise Gamgee. I kept expecting her to say, "I've been not dropping any eaves, honest."
Definitely not missing any second breakfasts.
Miss Nori. Instead of Nori. Miss Nori.
And I don't even know why she was there, because she didn't even want to be there. We're like, we don't want you there either.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Yes. This is bad.
There. That's why it's like a bad fan fiction piece, because the parallels were unmistakable. But it was like, the 12-year-old got a hold of, their parents' computer, decided to, they were reading Shakespeare one day and, I want to write like that. And they came up with this.
And the Harfoots weren't any better, I want to help you, but I can't understand. I don't speak, Firefly.
I'm like, fuck off.
Or when they had not Gandalf in the cart and started wheeling down, they're like, "Oh, we gotta chase!" Like, are we having weekend at Bernie's?
When the yuck moment when he's laying in the cart and he's all legs and limbs and shit, and they're sitting there blah, 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 fussing with each other, and then the cart starts going backwards. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Weekend at Gandalf's.
Yeah, Weekend at Gandalf's.
You know what would have been even funnier if it had started rolling And then it started flying like E.T.
Dead. Where are your fireflies now, bitch, to carry you away? Yes.
Oh, hello, little hobbits.
I'm like, are they really doing this? Are they really so the hobbits are just the yucks? Come on now. Give them a little more respect than that. That's what it's about. It's about respect. And I saw no respect. None.
And Gandalf's not even supposed to be there. Gandalf's not supposed to be there for another 1,000 fucking years. But of course, they've got to have Gandalf in the show.
Details, Loki. Details. That's details.
Find a way. I know. Yeah. That's why. What's his name was fired, because he was like, you can't bring Gandalf in. He doesn't get to Middle Earth for 1,000 years. Fire this fuck and bring me someone that'll agree with me. Yeah. That was Jeff Bezos. Fire this fucker and bring me someone that'll say, yes, sir.
So basically, the most interesting characters is a wizard that shouldn't even be there and a made-up elf/Vulcan character. That's it. They're the stars of the show.
And a black dwarf that I thought was fine. I absolutely think that I think her character.
I didn't have a problem with her.
Like, ooh, baby, come inside. We're going to have dinner. Sit down at my table. And we're going to have chitlins, y'all. We're going to have chitlins, and we're going to have watermelon, and we're going to feed you. We're going to feed you, Mr. Elrond. You come with me, baby. You ain't staying for dinner. Shut up, you red-haired old bitch. Come on, Elrond. You come into my kitchen. We'll make you dinner. And it's like, holy shit. All right. Okay. If that's where you want to go, all right.
I could get down
just
with that.
just a happy housewife. It was like, okay. Right.
Do you ever think, will we ever see the kids? Because we didn't actually see the kids that got them heads on. Like, is that what would they look like? Are they going to be like black kids with like ginger beards or white?
I would have been down for that. If they had ginger hair and the darker skin, I would have been like, all right, why not? Why not? But I hope they don't grow up to be pussies like their dad. Please. You didn't come and see Mother Birth of my kids, you son of a bitch. Elrond, I love you. I almost expected him to say that to you.
Yeah. I loved you. I loved you. We were more than friends.
That tree that he planted, Elrond's seed. He tends to that tree every day.
I tried, y'all. I did. I tried so badly to want to find something, decent about it. Because I don't want to be just a parrot machine. I don't just want to say, yeah, this sucked ass here and there and there, But oh my
I see you planted my seed, Durin. That I did. I had to work fucking hard to get that seed. Oh, okay. If you say so, buddy dwarf. If you say so. Culture Casino, who would have believed the Rings of Power could make She-Hulk look good?
Oh, jeez. And that's, I don't know, that makes me want to weep inside. As a Tolkien fan, as well as just someone who loves fantasy. That's my bread and butter. It always has been. I'm a fantasy girl, damn it. So when I see something fantastical, I want to embrace it. I want to love it. I want to dive deep into it.
Yeah, and the dialogue and the costumes and especially the hairstyles, it really took you out at any time you was getting pulled in, because there were a couple of times it did hold my interest. And that somebody would say something, or somebody would turn up with a stupid haircut. I mean, Galadriel's brother looks like somebody from Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet's back, all right. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. They pulled out it again.
Yeah, those modern hairstyles just killed me. Just killed me. I'm like, where the hell is the wig department? Did y'all get cut first? Did they say, oh nope, we got to save this billion over here, we got to put it towards fucking Galadriel's therapist to be on set?
No, it's all Durin's fault. It's all Durin's fault. Yeah. Durin's was like, Elrond, you planted your seed here. but I'm gonna give you a barbershop for your troubles.
And then they were comparing their endurance with the hammers. So I just go,
I was like, I see you, Durin. I see you, Elrond. I know what went on behind the scenes.
My special friend.
But again, going back to the lore, are elves physically superior to dwarves?
Yeah.
Yes.
So shouldn't Elrond be able to outlast Durin?
One would think.
Sounds like a personal problem to me. You can't quite keep up anymore, can ya? You pointy-eared prick. Oh yeah.
Maybe I'm glad you stayed away all these years. Be a big disappointment, wouldn't you? Oh my God.
Oh God. Okay, so we're gonna go around the room. And I want you guys to give me one score, both episodes. We're gonna give it one score to both episodes, and this was kind of like a mini movie, I guess.
Okay.
So we'll start with Arwyn, and we'll work our way around. So Arwyn, give us a number, and tell us why.
Okay, I give it a 1.
Okay.
No shit, I give it a 1 because, like I said, I tried to watch it with 2 frames of mind. 1 as a Tolkien fan, and 2 as a standalone series. As a Tolkien fan, fuck all the way off. It is not Tolkien, and honestly, that they attach the Lord of the Rings name to it is disgraceful to me on every level. Just because you slap a couple of names from Tolkien onto these characters doesn't make them those characters.
Well, remember the showrunners said we are gonna make the show. We're gonna write what he couldn't. So already the fucking hubris of their ideals of we're gonna write the story he never could. Meaning Tolkien could never write it. He could never write this. Well, yeah, because it's absolute shit. He would have thrown it in the garbage.
Yeah.
They can kiss my soft round ass because it's just not it. That is not your job to rewrite Tolkien the way he couldn't write it. Fuck off. So 1 for that. As far as a standalone fantasy, it was boring. The story was sketchy. The dialogue was ridiculous. The character interactions were one-dimensional. And I will give it, though, instead of giving it a 0, I will give it a 1 because I do think with the costuming, as much as some of it, I just rolled my eyes. I think they tried. I think some of the cinematography they tried because there were some pretty shots. There were. I think they could. I think they could have given Bear McCreary and Howard Shore. They could have loosened that leash a little bit and let them do what those masters, because they're 2 of my favorite composers. They could have let them do what they do best. Because every time you see a show or a movie with those 2 attached to it, the music is a character unto itself. It was not here. It was generic. It was bland. And I just didn't give a shit. So I'll give it a 2. 1. Sorry, 1.
Okay. Starry.
Oh God, I've got to follow that. How can I follow that?
Seriously.
I'm gonna give the first episode a 1. It completely failed as a series opener. You know, you're supposed to set up your character, set up the scene. They didn't even really set up who Sauron was. I mean, first of all, they've got it wrong because they've got him as a lieutenant, and they just got it. It's just a bad guy in the suit that he wears, you know, in the Lord of the Rings. So you know, is that the audience they're trying to go for? They're going for the ones that have watched the films. I don't know, but like, what did they do that was so bad? What did Morgoth do that was so bad? Because all it sounds like is like he nicked a light bulb from the elves. That's basically, you know, they're not explained, you know, what the light was, what it represented. Everything about Fellowship of the Ring was focused on what that ring was, how evil it was, and how it, you know, how it came to be, what it represented. The ring was a character. and that's what hooks you in. You know, that first prologue was absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So they completely failed on that score. Again, like you were saying, there's some pretty shots. You can see it's almost there. And it's in episode 2. I would give it a 2 because you see more of not Gandalf and what did you call him? Blue Ocean, because they're the only bearable. Cool Ocean, sorry, not blue. Why did I say blue? I'm thinking of her dress.
The road.
There's something a bit more. At least there's something going on, but yeah, it drags so much. And the biggest failing is Galadriel. If you have a main character who's unlikable, you can't. You know, the show's ultimately going to fail. It doesn't matter how good the supporting characters are. You know, I've seen that, you know, with She-Hulk, we've seen it with Doctor Who, we've seen it, you know, with the Skywalker saga. And, you know, she's making Rey look amazing. Because at least Rey wasn't this insufferable. Yes, she was a know-it-all, but she wasn't she wasn't like this. You know, I actually wanted Galadriel to die. That woman on the raft. And they're going, no, we don't need her on the raft. She'll kill us all. Put her back, and they throw her back in. See, I'm like, yay, leave her there.
Oh, when they shoved her back in, we were laughing.
Leader, please. Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is not Galadriel. It's not Tolkien, and yet any fantasy elements, you know, nothing new. They're just cliches and tropes. So yeah. So that's one for episode 1, 2 for episode 2. I don't expect it to get any better.
All right. Dave Bob, you've been very quiet, sir. Are you there, Dave Bob?
He's been in the chat.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Ah, okay. I haven't been saying anything because y'all have pretty much been covering most of it.
I'll get it.
That tone.
That is Jeff. Don't answer it.
Holy shit. Latino Slant gives it a 0. Complete disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Okay, Josh, go ahead and give Project Storytime. I dead named you, sorry. Give us your
Oh my goodness.
give us your final thoughts, and then we'll get back to Dave Bob when he comes back.
So I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is a 10 out of 10.
Oh my God, Slay Queen.
No, this I'll give the first episode a 0. It was awful. It's boring. As Starry said, it does not do a great job of introducing you to the world or the characters. I have no idea what the talent of any of these actors are because the writing was so atrocious. From a production standpoint, so many scenes you could just tell they're in front of a green screen. It looks fake. Nothing feels real.
Mm-hmm.
There's some shots that look nice of, you know, like some of the shots of like the cities, they look okay. Some of the sets look okay, but for the most part, it was just awful and boring, horribly paced that grab you. The dialogue's been atrocious, and then I'll give a 1 to the second episode, slightly better. Hours. I don't care about anyone, and as echoed by Starry and Arwyn, Galadriel is horrible. When your lead character people don't like, when you're actively rooting for your lead to die in the first episode, it's a disaster. And this series is just horrible.
Okay, a couple of people have asked in the chat really quick, will this get canceled pulled early. I think it will. I think it's absolutely horrible, and I can't imagine Amazon continuing to spend money on it. But we got 3 seasons of Batwoman, so what the fuck do I know?
I don't think it will, Loki. I don't think it will. I think they have a message to push, and by God, by hell or by high water, they're going to push it. So I don't think it will get pulled. I would be surprised, genuinely surprised, if they folded.
Well, they said that this is either a huge financial success or Amazon Studios will be closing.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was yes.
Bye.
Yeah. This is already. They've already said.
Yes.
Bye.
Yeah, they've already said this is either a huge financial success or this is the end of Amazon Studios. Culture Casino says they are stuck making all 5 seasons.
I think they will, but we'll see. Time will tell.
Dave Bob.
Sorry,
I'm going to give it a 2. I'm generous, but the reason
2 out of 10 or 2 out of 5?
No, 2 out of 10. Jesus.
Okay.
God.
So okay, gotcha.
No, I'll just give you one example. You have not seen what I have seen.
Yep.
God, it was just
that's it?
Well, out of all the characters in that whole show, when you take a skinny white dude that falls out of the heavens on the ground is the best, you're kind of dredging it there, buddy.
A mute, one who doesn't have any damn dialogue.
Yeah.
And he's still the most interesting character.
The Firefly Whisperer.
Dead.
Firefly Whisper.
Free the Firefly.
It every single strong that should have been a strong male lead was cut. I mean, just right at the knees. I mean, it I don't know.
Let me ask the wife.
Yeah. Yeah. And
what I have to say.
You have not seen what I have seen. How dare you?
I have to say.
Neither did Gladriel.
That Durin's wife was my favorite part of this entire show.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, sweetie, you come in. We're going to sit you down. We're going to have dinner." And he's like, "He's not staying for dinner." "Oh, you don't mind that redheaded motherfucker? You come with me, darling. Let's come in here. We're going to have some chitlins, and we're going to have some watermelon and some chicken. And oh my God, you got to tell me all about Durin back in the day." "Well, he used to hop and pub and like, oh, he ups and pubs on me all the time. That raggedy head bastard." You're like, yeah. Yeah, she's the best part of the show.
That big hug that she gave him, when he first walked in, that right there cemented it.
Yeah.
God,
and I'm gonna tell you right now, the tree will return, says Miss Rudolph.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I liked Durin's wife. I didn't think I would. I thought they'd play it really differently. And I probably won't later. They're probably going to make her an insufferable twat, just like they did with Gladriel. But as of right now, she's the only one in this entire show that made me smile. I knew they were going to do the Gandalf thing, and the whole time I'm sitting here, I'm going, no, that's not Gandalf. It can't be Gandalf, because Gandalf doesn't show up for another 1,000 years. But I can see Jeff Bezos firing the guy that told him that and saying, bring me someone that'll say yes. Bring me someone that says, we'll make it happen. Because they're going to do it. They're going to completely, they don't care. They don't care what Tolkien wrote. They don't care what Tolkien did. They don't care about anything Tolkien stood for. All they care about is making a show and saying, look, we brought it into the modern age. Look what we've done. We brought Lord of the Rings into the modern age. Whether it's a success, whether it's a failure, they're going to say because they did this with Halo. Paramount did this with Halo, the greatest streaming television series of all time. You mean the one that nobody fucking watched? That no one cares about, that no one's going back and rewatching, that no one, that was just absolute and complete trash. That show. That's the one that with the greatest streaming television show of all time. No, I'm going to give this a 1. And the only reason why it gets a 1 is because of Durin's wife. As soon as I saw her, I was like, I'm going to like this woman. I am. I'm going to like this woman. She's spunky. She's got some fire. And she's like, ooh, baby, you going to stay for dinner? I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, I am. I was like, yes, okay. I'm staying for dinner.
He chose well.
Yeah.
She didn't, unless she made him that way.
Oh my God. So Snowdub, you didn't have to do that, dude. I was gonna thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. I really do. Guys, if you want to go hang out on a cup of Joe with Snow, he's gonna be coming up next. I'm gonna be like 5 minutes and then I'm gonna be there. So when I shut down everything, which we're doing here in just a minute, go head over to Snowdub's channel because we're gonna continue this discussion over there, guys. And thank you so very much. Thank you, everybody who's thrown out a super chat this morning. You guys are the fires that keep Valhalla burning bright. And this one is just for you. This is what we did. This. Rings of Power has been torched, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you concentrate on the minutia and you just gloss over all the stuff that really should be important.
And yeah, we did go a half hour longer this morning. We covered 2 episodes. We may go a half hour longer next week. We'll go however long we're going to go to finish our discussion. So thank you guys so very much for being here. You guys are the absolute best. The best chat a person could have. Thank you guys so very much for watching, for following, for subscribing, for ringing that bell. Big thank you to the panel. Guys, if there's anything you want to throw out before we get out of here, now is the time. We'll start with Project Storytime, go around the room.
You can catch me tomorrow over on Eris of Charis's channel. I think we're talking more Rings of Power, so yay.
Yay.
And also, I also want to wish my wife a wonderful birthday. I will be with you soon.
Oh,
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Project Storytime. Hey, Bob, anything?
Well, if y'all are having the thing tonight, I'll be
We
there.
are.
Okay.
Friday night, we're going to talk some more Lord of the Rings and just how bad this is. And I do hear that we are going to have a visit from Brown Ocean Breeze, played by the wonderful Mexican Iron Man, who will be in an afro.
He was on
afro
last night.
He will be in an afro with the elf ears. God help us all. Arwyn, is there anything that you want to throw out there before we get out of here?
Yeah, next Monday at 7:00 on my channel, I'm starting a new show. It's called Shield Maidens, and there will be a panel, and we will be discussing Rings of Power. It's going to be the we're cutting our teeth on this. So come out and join. It's going to be 7 Eastern on my channel Monday night.
Knives out.
So hope to see y'all there.
more therapy.
Starry Eyed Girl.
Kind of all over, so.
Hey, you can catch me on Type 40. I wasn't on last night, but it was a good show. I was talking about Christopher Eccleston has been doing the rounds again. He had some interesting comments. Some were really good. Some were a bit, completely bizarre. He's kind of sold himself a little bit, which is sad. But yeah, I'll probably be back there on Thursday because we're counting down to Jodie's last episode, which is next month.
God help us get there.
Yeah, I might be suffering for Rings of Power, but there is light at the end of the tunnel for Doctor Who.
Yay, good.
Absolutely. Guys, we will be back tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going 1 hour early for the late show with Stone Loki, Mexican Iron Man, and guest. Usually Dave Bob's there, so I hope he's there tonight. But we'll be going live at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 hour early. That is the new time slot we are going to have. Until then, guys, take care, stay humble, be excellent to each other, always speak friend to enter, and we'll see you all on the next Mornings of Mischief. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.